Hello, my name is Heiner and I'm at the 4MS booth with Dan Brown from 4MS. Hello, Dan.
Hi. Hi.
Hi. So 4MS is a company I've been trying modules or working with modules with from a long time, and they make very different modules like samplers, ensemble oscillator with Matthias Püch, or the topographic delay, dual looping delay. And Dan, how did you come up with making modules? Did you start making music in the first place?
Making modules came out of making huge, like, monosynth things. I can go back to the start was listening to grunge music when I was 16 and wanting to make that music myself, and bought an electric guitar and learned all the power chords, and then was kind of bored and thought, what can I do? I have this $100 guitar, and then I see like effect pedals. I'm like, ooh, that looks fun. And so, but they're like another $100 or something, so I have no more money. I'm a teenager. And so, but the internet was young, and you could find things on it, and so I found schematics for effect pedals. And so I started just wiring together things from Radio Shack, little parts, and making fuzz, and then thinking like, well, why is this resistor here? Why do they have this part? And so what if I change it to this? And it just goes, I'm like, whoa, this is cool. So just experimenting and playing as like a teenager and making things, and then from there, people start. I have a little band that we don't play any shows or do anything really real, but I'm making these things for my performances, and they're weird and crazy, and people are quitting the band because I'm making all these weird loud noises. They can't stand it, and then, But eventually, some things caught on, and some people say, "Oh, can you make me one of these?" And started to
making pedals.
Yeah, guitar pedals, and then
And there was a different name for the company in the beginning, right?
Then
3MS.
It was 3MS pedals first. And then it was 3 Mad Sheep pedals at first. Then it was 3MS pedals, and then 3MS. Yeah.
And then you had a kind of situation where you were at first improvising and then decided to raise the quality level and really
Yes. Yeah, my 17, 16-year-old sensibilities were kind of like, just do it quick and cheap, and I hadn't really thought about like business type. It was just like make it work and have fun. But
it became serious.
Yeah, things, you get tired of like fixing something all the time, and then I started learning engineering practices and how to design things to hold together, and using PC boards instead of just twisting wires together, and learning all these things slowly. And as I started to sell things to people who were interested, I kind of had to up my like, okay, well, I don't want them to be disappointed. I can deal with a half-broken thing, but I don't want them to have a half-broken thing. So, I started making things better, and you use something, you take it around, you see where it fails, and then you improve, and like this. But it was such a small scale and just kind of on a friend basis back then. So, it grows, and then once a lot of people, I think in the early 2000s, kind of moved from the tons of guitar effect pedals all patched together. Like, you'd go to a show and people would have these crates full of effect pedals and plug them all together and make these crazy noise things. And then a lot of those same people started moving to modular as it got more popular in like the late 2000s and that time. And we did also, and started, because it's like all these effect pedals in this one little box, and you can patch them together. So that was our transition to that.
So there are always these shifts, like for a while everyone's jumping on the Euro Rack train, and then they jump on the desktop units, and you've been always getting your own ideas and trying own things, like for example the Meta-Modul, which I have to emphasize here, since it's a very special project. Like, everyone is allowed to try out the modular stuff in VCV. Oh, by the way, at this occasion I briefly show my book.
Yeah.
And it has 250 VCV patches for learning, and his module allows to load VCV patches and then make them accessible via hardware And now you also you keep expanding the system. I see you have new modules that bring modules from VCV to hardware, and then also you make new software modules that make things easier with the Meta-Module, but also in VCV on its own, you provide a really good system. So do you still make music, and do those ideas come from you making music, or what's the inspiration? How is it working? How is it working out at your company? How do you get the ideas?
I mean, so at the company, some of it comes from me, my musical ideas. Sometimes it's like an idea for a sound of making music. And some of my like earlier DSP stuff, the multi-band resonator and the dual delay, and come from like I want to do this particular thing. But then with the Meta-Module, it's less about like it wasn't what sound I wanted to do, it was what workflow I wanted to have. So we have this like really like one of the things with modular is that with Euro Rack especially, it's expensive. You're always moving modules around, so it kind of is a natural thing to be like, well, if we had a module that could be different modules, then you wouldn't need to constantly be like getting, I need a compressor and a reverb for this. Well, this project, I need 4 LFOs, so you need to buy all those things. You don't, you can just have one thing that can be multiple. Because we make digital modules, they run firmware. Secret, all these digital modules are tiny computers already, and they're running a firmware, and they can run each other's firmware often, but the knobs aren't, laid out the right way. So it's kind of a natural thing, like, let's make a generic box that can run all our things on it, and then someone's like, well, maybe you could like run multiple ones, maybe you could connect them together, maybe you could make patches with them. Maybe you need a computer interface to make these patches, because that sounds complicated doing it on a little screen. Yeah, we need a computer interface, and that's basically what VCV Rack is. And I hadn't really used VCV Rack to make music. I played with it, it's cool, but for me, like I said, this is a workflow decision. I can't focus creatively on a computer to make music, so I have to be like, the computer has to be off, there's too many distractions for me. So I never got into the VCV Rack flow, but I love the fact that like, if I need another oscillator, if I need another VCO, I can just click and it appears. I don't have to like, buy something and screw it in.
We are torn between this. Like the computer has so many options, but it's such a distraction, and it's not a dedicated instrument. So,
So, but the kind of the ability to just like plug in a new thing and run it instantly is really nice. So, this was our way to address that issue. Is that like you get the power of the computer because you can run tons of modules. You don't have to. If you just need another VCA, you don't have to go buy a thing, and But you don't have to have the computer on. It's off, it's closed. You're using hardware, you're touching real knobs, and you're pushing real buttons, you're not clicking on a mouse, and you're patching jacks, and you're using it like the way like I like to use it. So, but it's, again, it's a personal way of making music, but you get still the flexibility of plugins. So like, we have an open source ecosystem for it, and it's been really cool watching this grow, and like people are porting their plugins to this format, and it's almost all of them are free. Almost all of them are open source, and all of them are free actually. So you're seeing like thousands of modules that are you now have access to, that I have access to, that used to only be on the computer, but now they're also on the hardware. And a really cool thing I have to say, like, this is pretty recent, but in the past few months we've seen a number of people, they have a vision for their dream module. They want this thing. They're not a coder, they can't program, they're not a hardware person, they're not going to solder and make a thing. Yeah. Like most people, but they want to make this certain music thing, and now we have this so they're using AI to describe their perfect module. It has to have 4 channels, and it has to, this, and then it makes it for them on VCV Rack, so they can test it out and quickly be like, no, the knobs need to be. And then they use our SDK, or they tell their AI to use our SDK to make it for the Meta-Module. And now they have a custom hardware instrument that's designed exactly for them, to their specifications. They never learned a line of code or hardware, and it's running on hardware that they have. And they release, and they're posted on the forum, and other people use it and give them feedback. And it's it's really cool to see, because this is like a new, you don't have to have a computer science degree. You don't have to.
No, you just have to be like, okay, we are in the world today. what new options are there? What do I want to do? Let's think.
Yeah.
And you and you are the one realizing it. So, but of course,
I
you
mean,
gotta have time to go like, okay, let's think, and then like, oh, sounds nice. Okay, yeah, tomorrow I go to work.
yeah,
But,
yeah,
but you are the one who say, let's think. Okay, yeah, I do it.
yeah.
And
Well, when I go to work, I do it. So,
yeah, but
yeah,
yeah, but
yeah,
from all the companies I've seen here, I guess Forum S is a company that is the strongest and in this point to try out this new path, given that the whole circumstances stances are changing
yeah.
and the whole ecosystem. So
It's
and
been cool.
we all don't know what comes out. Also, you need a coffee. So I'm catching him early in the morning. So
Yes, yes. I'm still jet lagged, but yeah.
Take your breath for the coffee, and we can.
I'm here with my
Always
family,
feels
and
good.
it's always
I
nice.
see him. Yeah.
It's always
Yeah,
nice.
Great. So, but for MS, I know Thomas, who's just over there. Maybe Thomas, do you want to wave into the camera? Or maybe not.
Oh, two. Thomas.
This is Thomas.
Yeah.
How many people are you at 4MS?
There's 7 of us. Yeah, there's 8. Well, there's 8. 1 remote. So, and yeah, we have about more than half design team. So research and design, developing new products, and then the rest are production and logistics, shipping, and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's good, and
music-wise, how is it going on? Is there like one is into techno and the other is into drum and bass, one is grunge?
Sort of, yeah. I wish it was as concrete, but a lot of it's different types of music and music techniques and style, and
Does that
drummer like with synth drum things, and Ross has like a more professional mixing and mastering experience coming from, and I don't know how to describe myself.
You make music yourself?
Yeah,
Yes.
but I don't. I like making music
Anymore.
for the effects of it, like that it has on me. More like a meditative thing, or
So
if
have
someone.
a nice drone sound running through your 4MS
Yeah.
typographic delay and
Yeah, that's
getting
great.
a good glass of
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
and
just the
enjoy.
chill, make music. If other people want to hear, they're there. That's fine. But like, if I'm like, oh, I have to carry all my gear to a show and like, set up at 2 a.m. and sound check and then like play. I'm like, oh, that's so much work. That's not relaxing to me.
Yeah.
So I don't. Or even recording, I'm like, I just do it for the music. It's a painting in the sand. When it's done, it's over, and there's no traces. So that's how I like to do music.
Yeah,
So
great.
yeah.
So ambient and drone stuff.
Yeah, sometimes. No,
some
not
beats.
always. When I said meditative, I don't mean I'm meditating to the music, but I mean the process of making even like some harder beats and things. It's just like a
Sure. When you just focus on one thing, it's like totally meditative.
like you're just in
you
the
forget everything. You're in the tunnel.
you're in the zone. Yeah.
That helped me during COVID.
Yes.
So you don't think about anything when you just
Yes.
play with the gear.
Yes. We were lucky we had music during COVID. Yeah.
Make music.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's I always come back to a lot of rhythms, and polyrhythms is always a theme of things I make. So it ends up in there everywhere. But with the Meta-Modul, it's been nice because like I can kind of go with my creative flows and not need to like start moving modules around because I realized that, oh no, I need more channels or I need some other thing. It's just kind of right there, and I can just add that module to the patch virtually and still like not break my flow by like powering down and plugging new stuff in. So,
But you can only do that if you have all the expansions, so you get all these extra knobs and outputs, I guess.
well, I have all the things, but but you don't. No, a lot of times it's just a virtual, like reconfiguring the virtual modules within the thing without adding a new thing. But yeah, sometimes if I'm like I need buttons to control this, then well then that's
there's a nice button expansion. That's really cool. Yeah. What is there something else you want to say about?
I'd say like the Meta-Modul journey is really like it's been, as I just said, like it's been a great platform not only to get for like the kind of workflow I like, which everyone has their workflow, but like I know there's others that also like to be away from the computer but want it's nice to have the flexibility. But then there's like the letting people make their dream instrument, because I was just mentioning like there's we've been seeing some people on our forum doing it with AI, but also like we've been doing it here in the shop as like as a workflow. So the two things that we've been working on that were coming out this summer were all started as VCV Rack modules that we then ported and played with on the Meta-Modul and got it, tuned in, and then we take that and make a custom surface, like where the knob should go, where the light should go, where the switches should go, and then make that into a module using the same brain. So it's given us this workflow where we don't have to make a ground-up project, but we can actually use this like platform to make our own dream instrument,
The difficult thing about the Meta-Modul is handling the storage of audio files that are related to patches. And you made a solution by providing new romplers and all those production tools.
Yep.
I made a note here, 70s comp, producer pack, stereo crossfader, spatializer, and all this spectral. I don't remember what was that.
Yeah.
Spectral
There's
patch.
the producer pack plugin. Yeah, it runs on VCV and our thing. Yeah.
And but still, the question remains: when you come up with your own sample and want to work with your own sample, is there what's the best way, or are there new paths coming for the Meta-Modul?
There's one new thing. So the existing thing you can do right now is we have a wave player module, and
But that's not an instrument that plays the way. That's not to be played with a keyboard, right?
right. Oh yes. Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not a
it's
sampler. It's just a wave player.
yeah,
not
playing the thing.
music
Yeah.
thing, radio.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like the background, kind of like you want to.
Yeah.
And there's people doing things like stacking multiple ones to create these like, not layered stacking things. But yeah, if you want to do like more pitched, there's Sicko CV has a few variations of ones. One's more suited for drums, and then there's some more where you can pitch it up and down more. Sample, I forget that they're all like sample player, Sicko sampler, and stuff like that. Those are some of the good ones. The Bidoo plugin also does it pretty well. So
What one?
Bidoo, Bidoo. I may be saying it wrong.
Yeah. Okay,
Bidoo. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one also does it well. We have in the works a multi-channel sampler virtual thing coming out, but
Yay!
yeah, it got delayed as we we need to make some physical modules.
No, I know it's really
yeah.
difficult. I come from sampling. I really started producing in a time when everyone was about, oh, this is a real piano. This sounds better than a synthesizer, like in the late 80s. So for a while the synthesizers vanished, and it was all about samplers. And my first thing was an M1 Korg and a RKS 1100 with no resonance at the filter.
Oh yeah.
but so I learned to sample all kind of synthesizers for the sampler.
Oh okay, yeah.
So and that's how I made the music. I didn't have the money for more synthesizers at a certain point, and
Yeah.
and so I love sampling synthesizers and put them into the sampler, and it's still there is no hardware sampler without a groove box. Actually, that is made for just sampling synthesizers.
Oh yeah.
So
interesting.
I'm at least not. Of course, there are some projects like a Chompy or something, but I'm really curious when that's coming, and I know it's really always a difficult decision how to store the sample. Do you store them in a kind of compressed zip file or a proprietary format, or what is it going to do? Do you already know? How do you store your samples then?
So
it's too complicated question, maybe.
Well, the virtual module just has WAV files on whichever medium you have the plugin on. So the one that runs on the Meta-Modul, Okay. So also when you were saying that, it's making me, I can't describe this other project. I shouldn't tell publicly, but we are another thing that lets you play samples. It's more suited for the Groovebox style thing. It's not here, and it's probably going to change 6 more times before it releases. But that's the basic idea. Is letting you. Yeah.
So just my journalist tricks to get the news out of you.
Yeah.
No, I was really interested.
Yeah.
But
well, the virtual one's more like our STS, our stereo triggered sampler hardware thing that we have,
which I really like.
So,
but
But it does not.
But the simple one, I like the simple one too, because the makes things a bit easier to
Yeah.
grip.
Yeah, and so we put that on the Meta-Modul originally, but it's just like, it doesn't, the way the banks are laid out, it's made for hardware button pushes. It just doesn't work as a virtual so much, so then we made the simple one, and I got all the bugs out on streaming from the SD card, like being able to use MIDI over USB and streaming, all these things simultaneously that are different on the Meta-Module, because you don't know what other modules people are running in the background and things, and you have to share the CPU nicely with other things, and people might be playing their own samplers while you're playing your sampler, and so we got it good, it shares nicely, it works well, and so the next step is like the multi-channel one where you can pitch, you can resample, you can apply envelopes to them, so that's the next one, yeah. But for that, the answer where the samples are is easy, it's on the SD card or the USB, wherever you have it, so. Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, Thomas, thanks a lot
Okay.
for this interview. And it was nice meeting you.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
good luck with this project.
Thanks,
and
yeah.
finding all the samples and modules.
Yeah.
Okay, cheers.
Awesome.